As you all know, I recently bought a compact tractor, and the first thing I was looking for it was a grapple. And I wound up going with the Catawba 55 because it was a perfect match for my tractor and really well made in America. It's just amazing. I'll show you the quality in a little while, but it was delivered. I ordered it and it was delivered to a local freight terminal a couple days later, and they loaded it in my truck. And I think this is the best way to receive big packages because nothing gets damaged. It looks like, everything arrived perfect. And so here I am. I'm just I got sold my other tractor, so I have no other way to pick it off but this little Presto lift, and it's not long enough to go in there, so I usually just put a piece of tubing under the pallets and roll them out so I can grab them. Makes it a real easy job. So that's what it looks like. It arrived pretty much, perfect condition. Packaging was good, no real damage seen to anything. So the trucking company did a really good job, and I just can't believe how fast they shipped it out. And I spent a lot of time looking at different grapples, and I went with this one because I felt it was the strongest and best made and lightest weight one for my application. So there it is. It was wrapped good with heavy black shrink wrap on there. Protected everything. Strapped down on the pallet, as you can see. And first thing that impressed me as I was unpackaging it was those nice Gates hoses and all the swivel fittings and stuff. Let's get this off. And oh yeah, look at those hoses. They just did a beautiful job on them. I really everything about this grapple is top quality. And let's get the hat on done there. So there's my hat that I got also. And you can see I just love it. I needed a new hat anyway, and that's just perfect. Really high quality too on the hat. So see, now I don't have a tractor yet. I'm just going to try to take this off the pallet, stand it up in the garage, and put it in the corner while I'm waiting. But I just couldn't believe from the day I ordered it, it shipped the next day, and 2 days later it was in the local warehouse. So shipping was amazing, and you can see everything. They did a good job of well packaged. So that's what it looks like. So now, while I'm waiting, I got a couple weeks till the tractor's going to be there. So as you all saw before in my videos, I had 2 trees out here. I pulled that one bush out, and this is that bigger mungo pine that over the last 20 years has overgrown itself and has to be removed for cleaning up this area. So I just started making piles of branches and stuff like that around the yard until when I got it I could put it to work instantly. And I did pull the root out on that with the trencher. I was kind of afraid with a grapple that close to the house and having to go to these are real deep roots on here that it might have made a little bit more of a mess than I wanted to. So I just used this little tooth thing to pull out all the roots, because there actually were 5 or 6 other trees growing in with that mungo pine and some poison ivy. So I just get it all loose while I'm waiting. And it's an amazing little toy. Did a good job. But anyhow, the tractor arrived a couple weeks later. First thing I did was yank the bucket off it and slide the grapple on. As you can see, perfect fit. Really went on there easy. This is my first time I've had a quick attach bucket type setup on the front of a machine, and just fit perfect, locked in perfect. Really happy with that. I had the remotes added when I bought the tractor, and they I had the proper connectors put on the Catawba Grapple to match the tractor, and everything just plugged together perfect. And you can see how long the hoses are. About 4 foot of hoses hanging out. So I got it on there, and now it's cylinders are all dry and stuff, so I'm just going to cycle it a couple times to try and get the air out and get the cylinders full of hydraulic fluid. And it does work nice and smooth. I'm real happy with the third function on this tractor. Okay, and I'm just gonna grease the 3 hinges. They took quite a bit of grease. Got them all filled up and ready to go. I did put a couple tie wraps on there and then went back and checked the tractor fluid, because I know those 2 cylinders took some fluid, plus the sickle bar I put on the back there cylinder took some. So I'm just going to top that off before I do anything, using that Coyote fluid that I bought a 5-gallon bucket of. So it's just stuff, you want to check as you're installing one of these grapples, because the cylinders and everything are empty when you get them in the hoses, and it does take a little bit of fluid. So fluid's in, got it outside, and I'm just going to exercise it for a while and make sure no air bubbles or anything. And you can see it's really a perfect size for this little tractor, and it's only about 300 pounds, and the construction of it with a 3rd hinge is just so strong. I'll show you when I start using it at the end of the video here. But one thing I noticed is Coyote did a really crappy job with the hose management. For once they added that 3rd function, it made the hoses so they drive into that glass windshield. When they get about halfway up there, they start driving in, and it really forces a lot of pressure on that windshield. What a crappy thing that was. First thing I don't like about the Coyote tractor. I'm going to have to reroute those remote hoses. Looks like if I move them out of the way, the other hoses will clear. Plus, you can't get that pin out the way they got the hoses jammed in there. So I got to look into that. But anyhow, let's look at the Grapple here, and I'm just going to show you it's high quality, pretty much fully welded everywhere, fits perfect in there. Got some cylinder clevises, and it's got the 3 hinges. It's made of a high strength steel and some grease fittings there. The only thing I don't like about it are the threads going on that cylinder there, but I'll see how they wear. I may put some grease in there later or get some longer bolts. But that's about the only thing I don't like about it. I just love the welding. Oh my God, there must be a day's worth of welding in here. It's just everything is fully welded. These teeth plates here are really nice. Everything's notched together, fits together perfect. All the tubing is through tubing, fully welded both sides. And those serrated plates are so nice. You can pick with them on the top and the bottom half. You can pick up trees that are pull stuff straight out that's anywhere over 1.5 inch diameter. And you can see they've tripled up the these teeth in here, and a nice short rake in there, so I can use it to level stuff. And just it's just a perfect grapple for me. And you can see it is basically very strong, very well made, and I'm just really impressed by it. That I wanted to do a video about it. I think it's great. It's a great buy for a compact tractor. Just perfect size for my tractor. Now they do make bigger ones too if you have a larger tractor, but and even look at all the Gates hoses and those swivel fittings and stuff. All come standard, and it's made in the USA. It's made down in the South. All looks like it's all hand welded and fit together perfect. And if you're looking for a grapple, I'd say take a look at this one. I think it's really well made, and you can see from the video. But anyhow, the cylinders are really nice and well protected in there too, and the hose routing is really great. Everything's protected with swivel fittings there, and all Gates hoses, and the fittings all fit perfect. So I'm happy about that. So now time to go try to use it a little bit. Now, keep in mind, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is the first time I've ever tried to use a grapple. And I'm just going to go over and try to grab that root. And first thing I figured I'd do is try to get the rest of the dirt off it so it's not dragged across the yard. As I'm dragging it down the back. And I'm just going to pick it up and drop it a couple times and give it some tender love and squeezes there to try to get the dirt out. But as I told you, I really don't have any idea what I'm doing yet, but I'm going to figure it out by the end of this video. You'll see. So really it's just a nice size, and you know, I'm very happy with it. Now I do have that root over under that one guy wire that you can see there, so I gotta move it out of the way. But anyhow, this tractor is just amazing too. I just love it so far. So pretty much, you know, the Grapple, everything works on it good. It's really well made, and at this point it's just me piddling with it. So let me just move this over out from under that guy wire so I can pick it up now, and you can see most of the, just about all the dirt is off of it from all that fumbling around I did. And then let's just take a good grip on it, take it to the back and dump it. It's nice with all those little serrated teeth in there. They just grab on anything, no matter how small it is, and work. Okay, dump that now. It's time to go back and start getting the piles. This was, you know, fairly easy. Just drop it almost to the ground and go forward and squeeze it closed. I do have to get a grill guard. I realized after watching some of these videos here, some pieces did get pretty close to poking into the grill. But what an amazing thing. And let's go back and get that little pile that was left. And you know, this Grapple is really easy. It's got those short teeth in the front and those serrated gripping things. So I, you know, was able to grab just about all of it, about 95% of it, 96% of it, and take it down the backyard. Boy, this thing's gonna save my back a lot. I just have so much cleaning up to do from overgrown bushes and trees and stuff. And here we are down the back. I got a pile started. We can't burn here, so just have to pile it, and it's been getting out to the yard, so I just spent a couple minutes pushing it back with this too. And I am finding that the birds and chipmunks and squirrels really love this pile. They're always in there playing and hiding and stuff, so it seems to be you know, a good way to make some habitat in your backyard. Okay, so while I'm down there, I decided to go down around the pond, and this is why I got a cab tractor. I've got the sickle bar in the back, and I'm trying to start cleaning up here. Being sick the end of the summer and having all the hot and wet beginning of the summer caused me major problems down here. I have a total mess to clean up. So I'm just starting with the sickle bar to trim some of these things back, and I'll be going back through and making a couple passes, cleaning them up. But you know, this little and rusty sickle bar, you know, really has been a you know, a great addition for down here, and it does fit this tractor perfect. So I just and I saw that Catawba actually sells the same sickle bar for a much lower price than what I paid for it, which you may want to, you know, look at their website if you're looking for one. And then I had this one rock that I haven't been able to move. My little John Deere wouldn't pick it up and move it, and I just went over, grabbed it with this Grapple. I don't know how much it weighs, but I guess it's over 500 pounds because the John Deere was supposed to pick up 500 pounds. And just grabbed it on one side there. You can see even when the Grapple squeezed closed, it did not bend or twist or anything. And while I'm down there, I got this pile of leaves I put there last year. I was going to use for mulch, never did, but somehow one of those white-tailed hornet's nests got in that pile. And I've been staying away from it till now, so I'm going to see if I can grab that whole hornet's nest and pile of leaves and everything else up with this Grapple and just get it out of there. I'm kind of allergic to bees, so I figure, having the cab here, I'm safe. And you can see the mess in the garden. I will be ripping all that stuff out with this grapple eventually too. I've got probably about 10 weeks of work for it. So it is a very handy item to have. And again, there I got that whole pile, and I got, I guess, the hornet's nest too. Don't see too many of them flying, just a couple of them, but maybe they're squished in there. So, even for cleaning up weeds and stuff like that, this thing is perfect with those, that short front and teeth. You don't have to make a real big mess with this one. Alright, I got these sumac trees that have been growing along my property edge, and I'm always fighting them. I'm always cutting them off, and next day, there's more of them coming up. So, this one I cut off a little bit taller a couple weeks ago, and just left it so I could see if I could pull it out. And that's where these little teeth in that grapple come in handy. You can see I grab right on that little stalk, anywhere in the grapple, and just pull. And what I got was a big surprise when I yanked that out. If you look at the roots on this thing, they are growing across the whole side of the yard there, and little trees growing up out of the roots as they grow. I guess that's why I've had such a problem with these. I've just been cutting them off, and the roots are still underground. So from now on, I'll be pulling them out. I never realized I had a root system quite like that. And then again, this one here, those nice short, tabs in the front. It's just nice for raking out the roots and without making a big mess in the yard. It really does a good job. So you can see this is probably going to be the handiest attachment that you'll buy for a tractor. Is one of these grapples and rigs. And depending on the size of the tractor, you may want to go bigger or smaller. But this 55 is just perfect for my 25 horsepower tractor. And I only have about 1,800 pounds of loader capacity, so this brings it down to about 1,500 pounds with the grapple. So I feel that's pretty good. And then I have some rows of Sharon bushes that I planted about 18 years ago, and they've never had good flowers on them. I don't know why. They don't like the spot, and they're just a pain to try to mow around and stuff. So out they're going to come. And again, I'm trying not to make too much of a mess here. I could dig down deeper with the teeth on the grapple, but I'm just trying to break the roots right just below the ground level there, and get this out. And that way it'll be an easy job to just to put the rake on, rake over it, and mow it. I have to tell you though, I am just loving this tractor. It's just such a nice machine. It's 85, 90 out. It's over 85 out now, and I've got the air conditioning in there blasting, music playing, and doing this too at the same time. Just so comfortable. So, again, this is my first attempt at getting a bush out without much damage, so I will admit I'm a little bit slow and going pretty careful, trying to not make too much of a mess. But I did get it out there, and be glad I don't have to mow around that one anymore. And you can see the next one right down there alongside it. That's coming out later in this video. God, this thing makes yard work fun. And it's funny, I wouldn't have wanted anything bigger for this machine. It's people say put a 60-inch on them, and so I guess you could, but this seems to be just the right width. It's a little bit wider than the loader arms, and it will go in a lot of tight spaces too to grab one tree or get between things. And as you can see, my pile just keeps growing by the minute. I've had a couple days of playing with this now, and trying to break the grapple, but I can't break it. I can't bend it. It just seems so well made. That's why I'm really happy with it, I have to tell you. All right, here's a piece of log I've been saving. I couldn't move it with my little John Deere. Couldn't get it in the bucket and pick it up, so I don't know what it weighs, but it's pretty big, pretty heavy, and I want to make a table base out of it, but I want to get it up off the ground for now and put it on a pallet just until I figure out exactly what I'm going to do with it. Jesus, I couldn't believe how easy that thing grabs on there. Just grabs, right there. Clamped it gently so I didn't do much damage to it, and you can see it's clamped on one side, and that the grapple just, even if you pick a big rock up on one side, it doesn't bend. So the third hinge really, I think it really strengthens it, makes it a much better grapple than anybody else's out there at this point. Alright, I finally figured out I was gonna move that rock. We decided we're gonna use it up by the house here, so I'm just going to grab onto that. And I'm getting much better with it. You can see I've had some practice, and that rock's got to be at least 500 pounds, and grabbed right onto it, held it in place, no problem. Take it up and dump it there. Not exactly where it's going to go, but it's in the area, so it's out of the way down below as I clean up down there. Oh yeah, that other bush, Rose of Sharon, that one's a little bit smaller, and I pretty much got the technique down now to just scrape the roots out, and didn't take very long to get that one out. And you can see those big cranberry bushes up there in the corner of my barn. They're coming out next. And I dragged some logs up out of the woods, some piece of cherry to make cookies to laser on, and it's really good and dry, and I just want to get this up off the ground for now until I slice it up into cookies. But again, you can see very easy grab on. This will be great for loading the sawmill too, I think, once I get that out again. So after a couple of days of use, let's take a look at it, see what damage I did, and basically nothing. I scraped paint off it and stuff like that, and I tried, I thought I'd wind up bending something or twisting it, but nope, nothing. Everything looks good. Those serrated teeth, like I said, turned out to be the best invention. Just perfect for a little grapple like this to let you just grab onto small trees and pluck them out. No twisting, no wear. The only thing I saw right there in the middle where I messed with a couple of big stones, you see those two tripled up teeth, there's a couple points that are, ground down a little bit from the stone sliding, but, basically this thing is, I feel that I really did make the right decision going with the this Catawba one. I think it's so much better than the other ones, but, that's up to you to decide in the end. Do your research when you're buying one, and definitely it's one of the first things you want to get when you buy a tractor.